Okay, I'm in the park here recording another video with Google Glass, Stream of Consciousness number 2. You can see the ducks in the pond here. I'm going to walk around trying not to step in the duck poop, whatever that might be called, and talk about VR. So I've been working in VR now close to a decade. Let me qualify that. It started off quite a few years ago with my discovery of Second Life, a virtual reality social network startup, I think by Philip Rosendale, I think. Okay, a physics graduate who started a virtual reality social network, which IBM supported, I think, for quite a while. And so I got involved in that and created a virtual construct in the space called the Second Life, I think, Science Fiction Cafe. So there I held meetings in the cafe. People would appear with their avatars. In fact, some people even came in from Europe in avatars during certain hours, and we discussed science fiction. And so it's kind of like an experiment in social networking. Then once I kind of tired of Second Life, who actually, by the way, had their own currency, the Linden dollars, and a kind of a virtual stock exchange for exchanging real world currency into virtual currency. I think I must have spent over $200 there. And then I decided, well, to save money and to basically do my own thing, I started with a product that was free on the market, open source, called Open Simulator. And I set up my own server there and created my own virtual world called Viradu. Viradu.com, viradu.com. And then since now it's archived, it doesn't exist anymore. The URL goes somewhere else. But you could log into it, customize an avatar, and roam around a multi-region island-like space dedicated to science fiction authors. At that time, I was writing a lot of science fiction. So for that, see my website, webmac.com, wbmac.com. Little plug for myself there. And I was studying virtual reality and maybe the future of VR and stuff. And the whole experiment was very interesting because I learned how to create virtual spaces, get people to come into them and socialize, to create their own things in those virtual spaces. And so it was very eye-opening, but there was no way to monetize off of this at the time. It was way too early. So now, fast forward to today's date, 2019 sometime, and we have all these consumer-grade VR headsets and this new introduction of WebVR 1.0 spec, which allows us to use, instead of native viewers, browsers that can browse the web in virtual reality. Okay, I'm not talking about the gaming systems like Steam and Oculus stores and everything where you can download a gaming app and run it. I'm talking about actually going to a URL in your browser and having a virtual reality headset hooked up and being able to put that headset on and be in virtual reality. Okay, by simply downloading over the internet through a browser the virtual reality components necessary to do a virtual reality construct. So things have come quite far from my viewpoint, and I think they've got a lot further to go, but this is just my stream of consciousness and where I think things are going. There's now a WebXR spec, which is trying to integrate AR and VR together, and I really think that's biting off more than we should be chewing right now. We should sort of kind of have two different specs that have similar capabilities. I know that doesn't sound right, but VR and AR are not necessarily the same thing. At least they aren't today. They could merge at some point in the future, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we should have one spec for both of them. But at the moment, that complicates things for developers. And it also means that a lot of things that are being created right now in the web VR space are not going to move forward. They're going to be buggy when they're viewed by the WebXR spec, including the additional security requirements that are being put on Chrome and such. So I'm not down with that. Just want to speak up. Right now, the best product, open source, that I believe can achieve, a standardized web VR is A-Frame. So, but then I'm biased because I've been coding in A-Frame for the last 2 years. So, I could be wrong. Maybe there's more than one way to accomplish a goal, and this was just one of them. But I'm thinking maybe possibly of reborning from the Phoenix ashes, Viridoo.com, and seeing if I can monetize it. So we'll see. I'm going to look into it and analyze it first before I bite and chew that one up. Okay, that's about it on my thoughts ad hoc. Listen for another stream of consciousness. Hope I didn't bore you. I'll try to include links to things that I talked about down below or up above or to the side or wherever. But have a great day, and thanks for listening. Bye-bye.